So I have the first question is, what is the best practice to get a job in pharmacovigilance, drug safety in pharmaceutical industry?
That's a great question. I think understanding your role as a professional in drug safety PV, some folks in the industry, they call it patient safety. And I really like that. It helps us get into the mindset that of this space that we're helping others, that it points us in the right direction of ensuring the health and safety of those patients, and that's of the utmost importance. And so I think having that sort of mindset and in the space and understanding the role and what you'll be doing gives you an edge, a driver over those who really don't, who look at it more as just a job. If you have passion about it and it's something that you can really buy into, it's going to really help when you're in your career and when you're looking for a job. If you aren't sure whether this is the right career path for you, that's okay. Lateral movement is accepted, often even encouraged as a professional in the biotech pharma industry, because it makes you more versatile. It makes you to where you can understand other departments and you can work cross-functionally in various companies and be flexible and open-minded with others. And so I will say this as a disclaimer: everyone is different with an approach to get into the industry, to find a job in drug safety PV. From what I have experienced and seen, the answers vary from person to person. And having said that, I chat with folks. Generally, the work that I do is with those that are quite experienced in the space already. And so, having said that, I've heard a lot of their stories about how they get into the space, how many of them didn't plan on it from the beginning when they were getting their education, but how they were able to stumble into it. And it's really interesting. So I will say that as a disclaimer, that your answer may vary depending on your education, your training, your network, your geography, as to how you're able to get in. But along with that, understand where you would fit best into the space. Go with full awareness, manage your own expectations so that you don't get disappointed when it comes to, okay, I'm going to go get a job in drug safety, and all of a sudden you have 10 applications in and you don't get one right away. It does take some time. It takes some effort. It takes some persistence in order to get it. That's probably one of the hardest careers to be able to just jump into. I think you need to, it's more complicated than 15, 20 years ago. There's multiple areas to consider. You've got things from safety operations, you've got PV science, you've got safety physician work for those that have medical degrees. You have where medical judgment is required. You've got PV systems work that needs to be done. And so pharmacovigilance drug safety is so much more complex than it was when it first started years and years ago. There are even those that are more specialized than that, project managers and PV compliance. And so it's interesting. And so I would say, get to know the basics, understand where you fit in or where you would fit in best with this, read and study get to know the trends and improve your knowledge if you already have some. And then the next thing I would say to do is connect with others that are in the space that you aspire to be in. Find those that will help you. Find a mentor and use groups. Like LinkedIn has several groups that are dedicated to drug safety, pharmacovigilance. Be parts of those groups, and don't just be a member, participate. That will help you as you increase in your knowledge, and then experience. Breaking into the space is difficult. Once you do have the experience, it gets much easier. And so those are just a couple of tips I would say on that note.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what I did. I remember before when I came here in Canada, I had some experience in drug safety and pharmacovigilance in Europe. But when I came here, people told me that searching for a job is a full job. So yeah, the exciting thing is to connect with people from drug safety, as you said. Yeah, and the knowledge, increase the knowledge and update the knowledge with the regulation being evolving every year. That's why in InnoVigilance we provide a training about the regulation, the PV operations, training on databases, and other things. We will talk at the end about the training we are providing. So thank you very much. I have another question
Sure.
for you. So what qualifications and certifications are needed?
Yeah, great question as well. Specific academic degrees, depending on the space and the company requirements, sometimes there's even legal regulatory responsibilities that a company has, and so they will require certain levels of degrees. So there may be positions that require an MD or a DO, a PharmD, an RN. These are all typical common degrees that are in the space. Healthcare professional degrees, life sciences degrees, those are all I would say the certain types of academic degrees that exist. If we're talking more of an operational associate type role that would be involved in case processing, triage, different things like that, lots of times a simple bachelor's degree. I say simple, that's what I have. I have a bachelor's of science, but you don't need to have overly extensive training for an operational role. Most of the time you can get into that space as a bachelor's of science, bachelor's of arts, with additional training in pharmaceutical biotechnology industry, and specifically with clinical trials and pharmacovigilance, drug safety. So I think you have to put yourself into the shoes, and you'll hear me say this probably again, of the hiring manager. How will you be? How does your degree fit into those typical roles? And have you attended additional training specifically about pharmacovigilance, clinical trials, things like that?
Yeah, thank you, and it's a great tips and advices, and I couldn't agree anymore. So yeah, this is very important, and as you said before, we need the medical judgment, the knowledge of the regulation, of the medical terminology also, and also the use of databases, some MS Office, and the other stuff. So